Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Now Experts Time channel. We are watching a transformation program, and specifically we are looking how to enable enterprise change management module in the business environment. So in the last three videos I just explained what is the usage of change velocity and what is a drawback in the existing change management module, how to make automated change in your business ServiceNow instance, and what is a functional architecture for Azure DevOps and ServiceNow scenario. So those are all the things I covered in the earlier video. If you want to understand those points, please refer those videos. It will support you to understand further. In today's discussion, I'm trying to explain the DevOps change velocity, how it is working in your Azure side. Last session, I have directly showcased how I have configured in my personal instance. So today, the same item, but what ServiceNow highlighted in the document. So that's what we are going to discuss. Next, I have prepared an article. So this is a article. So it's available in our ServiceNow community. So when you want to enable a ServiceNow solution, so that time this article will help you to understand the prerequisite of your DevOps change velocity. So it cover this information. It's available in your ServiceNow community from developer blog. So if you have an option to enable that ServiceNow community, please read this article. I hope it will help you. And next thing is, ServiceNow already provided one of the super video approach, how normally it happen in your Azure DevOps environment configuration. So this is a public video. I can share this URL in the description so you can check it. So this video, what it explains is how this DevOps item configured from your Azure side. So this video, it shows a step-by-step approach. So this step-by-step approach, it will help you to enable the configuration in your business environment. Remember one point, ServiceNow simplified your approach in the automated change management scenario. So you no need to create any major code. So it's like a configuration approach. But remember one point, we need one more Azure person uh, availability to do the configuration from the Azure side. ServiceNow technician also can do, but some knowledge in the Azure side is required. But safer side, if you have a Azure team or Azure admin or Azure specialist, then it is okay. So work together and derive the solution. So in this video, what ServiceNow explains is how the automatic change created in your DevOps change velocity scenario. So for this case, first ServiceNow side, uh, specifically in the Azure environment, so you need to go to your marketplace and try to install the ServiceNow DevOps plugin in the Azure side. So once the plugin is installed, now we are ready to do that configuration in your Azure side. So it's a free of cost only. That free of cost item you can access from your Azure environment. So you can do it and go to your marketplace and download that item and install it. That ServiceNow DevOps item in your Azure environment. So once it is installed, then you need to enable a connection from your ServiceNow to Azure to your ServiceNow. So for this case, once the plugin is installed, then go to your projects. In the projects, you need to go to the settings, and once you go to the settings, then you can see the service connection. So this service connection, it will tell you where you want to connect. So this service connection, you want to connect with your ServiceNow environment. So if you see here, it asks the ServiceNow instance name, it asks the password, it asks the username, it asks the relevant information. Once you have provided this information, it will ensure the connectivity between ServiceNow and your Azure DevOps. So what are all the item you are seeing? What are all the item you are seeing in your project? Those all item it will transferred from Azure to ServiceNow DevOps. So in this screen, what it explains is, once you have enabled that plugin from the marketplace and you have ensured that connection, what are all the pipelines, what are all the steps you are seeing from the Azure side, the same item it will be transferred in the ServiceNow side as well. So here you can identify, here you can see what are all the pipeline is running based on the projects or organization. So this item, what it explains is, this item it is explain that information about project related item. So once you, you please refer the earlier video. I have showcased how it is working in the real environment, so you can easily map the last video on this video. So here the same stages are there. So this is pretty much important portion, that is called YAML file. So YAML file, it having a definition about your stage, that means build and test, QAT. So once the QAT is done, then change ticket needs to be created. Once the change ticket needs created, then after the proper approval or auto approval, then the change will be moved in your production environment. So that type of design you can build it. This item I explained in the last video, you please refer it. So how to create a YAML file, that's what it is highlighting here. Specifically, I highlighted as a build and test and QAT environment, right? So after that, change acceleration is an important portion. So change acceleration is helping to create a change ticket in ServiceNow. The change ticket creation, it automatically should happen. That's what you are going to see in this upcoming item. So you see here, stage test, stage deploy, and test and deploy, we need to create a change acceleration middle layer called change acceleration. How to create a change acceleration, that's what you are going to see in this video. So specifically, if you see ServiceNow DevOps server change acceleration, so this operation you should take it. This operation, when it will come, is once you enable that ServiceNow DevOps plugin installed in your uh, Azure environment from marketplace, then by default it will come. So here you can define the instance endpoint. Instance endpoint, how it is coming is based on your service connection. So that's what you have seen earlier, how to create a service connection. So once the service connection is created, then you can call that service connection. That means endpoint, it will callable here. Then you need to define this header, and you need to define this payload. If you see, I can show you, this is a ServiceNow instance. It is connected from this Azure environment. Once it is connected, then what type of data it should trigger, that is important, right? That is called, we name it as payload. So that payload is supporting to create a change ticket and the field related values as well. So if you see here, there is a attributes we are defining and requested by implementation plan and your test plan. So everything you can configure it here. So when you are configuring, then if you see here, there is a test and deploy stages are there. In the middle layer, by default it will come stage as change acceleration, like that. So just see this video. Once you click configure that information, click run, then what it will do is it will create a change acceleration portion there. So see here, build, test, deploy. This is what you can see it. So build, test, you want to add a change acceleration stage middle of your test and deploy. So before deploying, we need to create a change ticket. So that's what we are trying to do. Change acceleration is supporting to do this activity. So when you are preparing this item, that means currently the pipeline is going to run here. So when the pipeline it is going to run, then what it will do is it will create a change ticket, because this change, how it should behave, the definition we defined in our YAML file. So you can use the YAML file, and what you want to change with respect to your field, that is also doable. And one more thing is, some item you need to define by default. uh, you don't want to share everything from your Azure DevOps to ServiceNow change ticket. So in this case, there is a template option is already available, so you can create a template in ServiceNow environment. Whenever the change ticket is created, that change CI/CD pipeline, that template is in a reference. What are the value you need to pop up in your change ticket, you define that item in your template itself. So the template also is another part which is a common or static value. You can use that template and you can define it. So here what we are doing is, that means we defined that item, that means we defined the change acceleration item inside that test. So once that test is created, normally what we will do is the change creation will happen. So change creation, how it will happen is based on your pipeline running. So how you need to run the pipeline, you can run the pipeline from Azure DevOps, or you can run the pipeline from ServiceNow. If you are running the pipeline from Azure DevOps, then you can see the result in ServiceNow side as well. So that's what you can see it. So view pipeline, if you are click, then it will showcase that information here. So in next video, you can see how to configure from ServiceNow side. So maybe you can easily relate it. So once the ServiceNow side configuration is enabled, then you can easily understand how we can see this view pipeline option in the ServiceNow environment. So here the change ticket is created based on the pipeline run from Azure DevOps. Then the change ticket is going for an approval state, and this change ticket is approved properly. Once the change ticket is approved properly, then what it will do is it will run the entire pipeline and it will deploy your code in your Azure environment. So there are two approvals it is triggering. One is a normal approval and another one is a cap approval. So once the cap approval is done, then it's going here. So once the cap approval also done, then implementation phase it is moving. So once that implementation phase it is moving, then what it will do is the deployment is going to happen there. So these items I have showcased in my earlier video how it is happening. That means the once the change ticket is deployed, once the change ticket is created and approved, what it will do, the deployment will happen. So you take this video as a reference, but this reference and my video reference will give you a clarity. This is a high level information. Mine one I have explained in my direct PDI instance. So both you can easily compare it, both you can easily understand it. So this is for your additional support what we need to do in ServiceNow and Azure DevOps environment side. So I can share this URL in the description, video description. You can take it and you can refer it. It will give you the complete understanding from Azure side. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you. Stay tuned with this channel. You can see the upcoming videos and give the clarity from ServiceNow side. Good day and good boy.